action.
Morning, Jane.
Good morning. Afternoon.
It is the afternoon, but we have to pretend it's the morning.
Yeah.
Because,
Good morning.
Good morning. We got up very early this morning, didn't we?
Yes.
Because, and that's why we're going to be just standing in here in one place, because you went to have your cataract operation done this morning.
Yeah.
And you're very kindly, even though you're resting and maybe a little bit sore and achy, you've still agreed to do this video for us, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I was waiting for you in the waiting room, I took with me this really very, very, very good book. Okay? About John Lennon. We All Shine On, John, Yoko and Me. And it's by Elliot Mintz. Now, Elliot Mintz is somebody, when I was doing the Harry Nilsson book, I'm looking down here.
Is that Elliot Mintz on the front of the book?
Yes, that's him. That's him. And he used to be a radio presenter. Okay, and how things came about was that when I was doing the Harry Nilsson book, which is one of my proudest ever endeavours and accomplishments, it was a real pleasure to do that book. When I started to do it, I contacted somebody who lives near us, Trevor, and he used to be in a band. Well, he still is in a band. It's called the Escape Club, who had I think they had a #1 hit single in America that he produced, performed and wrote. So when I started doing the book about Harry Nilsson, I just wanted to try and contact anybody that was in the music business. And he said, he gave me a contact of somebody that he knows in Hollywood, a lady, and I contacted her, and she said, you better talk to Elliot Mintz because he knows everybody. So I did contact him. What a fascinating man he is. And he knew Harry Nilsson. He worked as a publicist, PR person for John and Yoko, but also with Bob Dylan, Stephen Stills, just loads and loads of people. And I'd arranged to have a phone call. Do you remember that time when I stayed up at midnight? You'd gone to bed, and I had to do this phone call with him at midnight to talk about Harry Nilsson. And I was really quite nervous. I'd only just started doing the book, and it happened to be just on the anniversary, not the anniversary, on the day when Zach Nilsson, Harry Nilsson's son, who I'd met when I went to Los Angeles myself in 1998, and I'd contacted to say, do you mind me doing this book? And he said, no, that's fine. But he was on his last legs, and he unfortunately died on that same day that I'd had the meeting or the phone call with Elliot. That's beside the point, but he was a really fascinating person, and he told me this great story about when he went to the Dakota building to be with Yoko, and Harry Nilsson came, and it's just a lovely story. I wrote it in the book, and I heard recently that he'd written this book. So I'm not a very good reader actually, but I took it with me to have a look at while you were having your eye operation done this morning. And as I quite often do, I always go to the back of books and look in the index. And I found the section about Harry Nilsson, and I was reading that. It's just fascinating. It's such a good book. So I really recommend it to any of the viewers of this little channel that we have. To finish off, I've now got my CD, my SMSL CD player set up, and first impressions, I've only played it a little bit. I played it yesterday, and it is very, very good. And as you can see, I've only put it here temporarily. It's not really quite, it's not even properly set up.
It hasn't found its home yet.
No, I don't want to put it here. I think I might build a little shelf here, along here, and put it in there. But yesterday I was just like trying it out for the first time.
I thought you were going to put it there where the...
Well, yeah, well, I had to order a digital coaxial cable, and it's only 1 metre long. I made a mistake.
Can't you get another cable?
I could do.
Rather than build a shelf.
Why is it you always come up with the logical solution? Yeah, I could, but I sort of quite like the idea of having it there now, and then that gives me more space here.
In case you want to get something else for there.
Well, okay, yes, you're catching me up now. Because of this YouTube channel, did I tell you about, I've come into contact with somebody that I used to work with, Daniel.
Yeah.
And when I was working at Grundig 40 years ago, it turned out he contacted me because of this YouTube channel saying, are you the same person that I used to work with? And that we have a mutual friend in Dr. Russell. So pure coincidence, and it turns out that we do know each other, and we're meeting up next week, and he'd seen one of my videos where I'd said, the only one component that I haven't got here is a tuner. And he's told me that he's got an old Aiwa tuner that I can have. So I don't know what it looks like, but I'm imagining, knowing Aiwa, it's probably about that sort of size. So if that's the case, and I'll be seeing him next week, and he's coming here, by the way, for lunch, and he's going to bring it with him. So if the Aiwa tuner fits there, the CD player, the Grundig CD player, can go to France. The new CD player can go on a new shelf there, and the world will be a happy place. And when I played the CD yesterday, I was tapping it because it's not set up properly. Tapping it while the CD was playing, no problem. And I even put it on its side, and absolutely no problem at all. I think this is a very, very well made piece of kit for £139. I'm not going to do a review of it yet, but I'm not qualified to do reviews, but I am going to do my very first, as well as I can do it, review of the SMSL PL150 CD player. I'm going to do that next week sometime after I've been listening to it for a while, and I can give my valued, no, not my valued, it's not valued, but I can give my opinion whether I think it's any good or not.
Your humble opinion.
My humble opinion, that's the word. Thank you very much, Jane. Also, a little update, the cleaning, I don't know if you can see that, it's a really weird looking substance. I've already done it once for the turntable to clean the stylus, and I don't know, can you see there's a tiny little spot there?
Yeah.
That's the dust. That's the dust that came off the stylus.
Well, I never.
As recommended by Dr. Russell, and it's great because I did the cleaning of the stylus, and because I've been told that see this turntable platter, the acrylic platter.
It's very dusty, by the way.
Yes, I know. I'm going to give it a good clean, but so I was afraid to use it because I hadn't made the arm higher to account for the thickness of this acrylic platter. But I was assured that if the angle of the arm goes from the back upwards, it won't do any damage. And I tried it, and it was sounding absolutely beautiful. I was playing Lightning Hopkins, and I have to say it was sensational. I really was happy with my system. And there was something I was going to say. Oh yes, that's it. I was going to say about that. In the comments, somebody asked me about the Billy amplifier, what type it is, because you can get various. Now, where's my bit of paper? You can get. Oh.
You got so many bits of paper.
I know. Oh, here it is. Here it is. They were asking me what type is it. Anyway, it is a fully loaded powerhouse, and it's got a Hypex NC252 MP power module. It's got a performance DAC, and it's got JJ ECC 99 gold tubes. those are the tubes there, Jane. And what happens is when you turn it on with this knob here, you see the little light comes on there for the selector of what the input is. And can you see the tubes flashing?
Yeah.
Good, isn't it?
Yeah, very good.
Makes
you happy, darling?
Does it make you happy though?
Oh, very happy.
And the only last thing I'm going to say is that you know the thing I did about putting the CDs in the freezer.
Yeah.
Well, my friend Dr. Russell, he says he sent me a whole long email.
An essay.
Yes, it was an essay. I'm not going to read it all, you'll be pleased to know, but I'm just going to read the first bit. There is no evidence of improved sonics. The data extracted by the laser and sent to your DAC will be the same string of ones and noughts from the land and the pits pressed into the polycarbonate and coated in reflective aluminium.
Right, that's enough.
That's enough. Yes, director. So that's the end of today's video. Thanks a lot for doing this, Jane. And goodbye, everybody.